Everton 1, Manchester United 2. Massive win tonight, man. We had to do it. It was all about reacting. It was all about bouncing back from last week against Manchester City. And we did it. And we did it in good fashion, man. The scoreline doesn't suggest how dominant we were. You know what I mean? Looking back on that game today, there was a lot of chances for us today. Should have been at least 3-1 for me. Loads to get into. I wanted to start at the manager. And I think that Ten Hag is really starting to build a Manchester United identity. I really do. You know, it's still early days and we still have to be really patient. But look, this is the team. Last year didn't win there. Season before that didn't win there. Haven't won there in like the last 4 games. You know, I look at Leicester away last year, didn't win there. I look at Southampton away, didn't win there. You know, Liverpool at home didn't beat. Arsenal didn't beat. There's so many, you know, games that Ten Hag's basically transforming our fortunes in, and it's because every player's buying in. We made changes to the team today. You know, Victor Lindelof comes in again, like because he had to. I get it, because of injury, but he did well today. You look at Luke Shaw coming in today. I thought he was absolutely brilliant today. He was fantastic, up and down, good in the tackle, winning his duels, aggressive, kept Anthony Gordon quiet, which is, you know, arguably Everton's best player. I look at midfield, Casemiro sat me down in the end. You know, the Casemiro agenda, as you like to call it. Look, at the end of the day, he got given man of the match by BT. That's what it says. And Man United won the game. And that's all I care about. His performance, yeah, there was some bad bits. We get off to a bad start. But again, he stamps his authority in a lot and had some good moments, some real good moments that helped us go on to win the game. But back to Ten Hag, I think it's really key what he's doing. Because what we're seeing is that players are really hungry to come in and perform. Like I said, Luke Shaw, the door's been left open for him because Malacia has played 2 games poorly in a row, hooked at half-time. Luke Shaw, here's your start. Here's your reward for that. The same way you got dropped after 2 games against Brentford and Brighton and Malacia came in, then we went on a winning run. He played well, he kept his shirt. He started playing shit. Are you ready? Are you ready to seize the opportunity? Are you buying in every day in training? Are you looking at what I'm demanding and what I want from my players? Luke Shaw said, yes, boss, I'll be ready. You know, Ronaldo, at the end of the day, we all kind of agreed, most people anyway, and there's a lot of you at home who don't agree because you want Ronaldo to be starting the games anyway, and today proves why. But even if we just label it at Ten Hag's been going with strikers other than Ronaldo. Okay, he's not been playing them because that's his choice. But the door was left open. Ronaldo comes on after Martial even gets an assist and plays well. You know, there's an opening. Instead of feeling sorry for himself, which you would never expect for Ronaldo, he's an absolute professional, comes in, scores and plays well. And I think the reason why these things are happening is not just by chance. It isn't just because Ronaldo is a great player and he's always going to be able to do that. That is one side. But what's happening is that the players are buying into the identity and the culture that Ten Hag is building throughout the squad. And he's being fair. He's showing them what they expect, what he expects from them. He's building a culture and identity within the team. And I think it's so important to keep doing that. And we're seeing little bits about Ten Hag now that is bringing some consistency. Make no mistake, Everton had the best defensive record in the league. You know, they only conceded 7 goals before this. Unbeaten in the last, 7 games, I think it is. You know, they won the last 2 games. The last, couple games there at Everton as well have been really good. I look at the Merseyside derby. They probably should have won that. Very tough place to go and pick up a win. And I think for large parts, if not most, again, we made it look easy. Okay, Casemiro makes a mistake right at the beginning of the game. And Iwobi scores a great goal. But other than that, what did they do? That's because Martinez was on it. That's because Victor Lindelof was on it. Luke Shaw was on it. Dalot wasn't. To be fair, they had to carry him, which I'll talk about in a minute. In midfield, we were good. We were hunting down the ball. Transitional moments were good. And you just wanted us to get a few more goals for our dominance. But I'm starting to see a pattern. I'm starting to see good football. I'm starting to see a way of playing. Against Ammonia, same thing. I know they're a way, a class down below Everton, and I'm not being disrespectful, but we still did things in the right way, even though we got shell-shocked. And again, it shows that there's a mentality there. Look, as our development goes on with Eric Ten Hag, we're going to scrub out those mistakes. We're not going to be relying on, keep going 1-0 down and having to come back and win. Of course, that's not ideal. But what it does show is that our mentality is not as fragile as we've seen. If these things were happening last year, which they were, going 1-0 down first, team would just capitulate. Everything will go out the kitchen sink, out the window, sorry. They'd throw the towel in and almost tap out and give up, and quit fighting. But they're not doing that, And again, I keep using Ammonia as that. The wake-up call that we had from Manchester City was literally slapped back down to reality. And Ten Hag even said it. Thank you, Pep, for the lesson. We will go and learn from that. What happens against Ammonia? Down after 34 minutes of straight pressure or whatever it was, and we're 1-0 down at half time. Mentality, come back out, win the game. What happens against Everton? Can you prove you've learned from Ammonia, let alone Manchester City? No, down after 5 minutes. But how do you react to that? Goodison Park rocking, 1-0 up, great goal from Iwobi. We get the ball down, we play, we do things in the right way. Bruno, I thought, was good today. Anthony getting another goal. He's really starting to come alive. He's really starting to express himself. You know, Martial, it's so frustrating that he's injured again. And this is why, you know, a lot of the fan base and the discussion within the fan base about how reliable he is there. And this is why a lot of people say that you just can't hang your hat on him and bank on him and bet your house on it, that he's going to be ready, fit, fighting and available. And you can with Ronaldo. So that was annoying, but at the same time, another cameo for Ronaldo, done well. Marcus Rashford got robbed of a goal today, should never have been given for handball. VAR was disgraceful in that. But again, he's picking his moments, understanding what to do with the ball. Like KG's touched in his fan view, it's less of just picking up the ball and running down blind alleys. You know, he's taking his time, he's picking his head up, he's picking his passes well, and he's having an impact on the game. And again, that would have been a perfect way for him to do that by getting that goal, which was his rob for, but he's still going to get confidence. So I'm just really happy that the way we've won that. I looked at Neil Maupay, didn't have a kick, got hooked. Didn't do nothing. Gordon didn't do anything. Damari Gray, okay, got an assist, but again, we allowed that to happen. They just really didn't do anything. I don't know what Frank Lampard said in his post-match press conference after. I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure it'll be along the lines of, we just struggled to get near Man United today. We struggled to give them something to think about on a consistent basis throughout that game when they've come into it being really confident, especially being 1-0 up. But that was because of the golfing quality in the two teams. But what I liked about it is that we allowed our quality to shine through. CR700, listen, midweek, it's really weird. Midweek, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm going to be deadly honest. I looked at a player, and this is why football works in crazy ways. I looked at a player and I was like, oh man, it's just sad to see him go out like this. It felt like he's just on his way out, and it's like he couldn't score against Ammonia on Thursday night in Cyprus. You know, the team was really trying to get him that goal, and he just looked void, you know? And this is why you just can't write people off. Not that I ever did write Ronaldo off, but, you know, 3 days later, he's scoring the winner away when he wasn't even supposed to be starting the game. Football just changes, and you have to be, he knows that, he scored 700 club goals. This is Ronaldo. But I think in the bigger picture, it does show that there is a role for him to play. And it also backs up what Erik ten Hag's been saying. Even though Ronaldo hasn't been his number one starting player, and he's proved that Ronaldo can definitely play for him. He can play in this system. He said it many, many times. Ronaldo can play in this system. He can contribute. For sure, there's going to be loads of games. And Ronaldo, with that finish, which was fantastic, you can argue Pickford maybe should have done a little bit better. But he was at it today. I didn't feel like we were at, for the first time in a while with Ronaldo playing, I didn't feel like we were at, not a disadvantage, but I didn't feel like we were hindered performance-wise by having him there, personally, with the way that he played today, because his performance was good. I think his link-up play was good. He was winning flick-ons. You know, for Rashford's goal that was disallowed, he wins the first header. Then Rashford goes and wins the second header, chases it. The rest, we know what happens there, gets disallowed. But I just think his overall play was really, really good, and that will give him confidence, because now we don't know how long Martial's going to be out for. It's going to be Ronaldo that plays. And I think Ten Hag played it perfectly as well, because, again, it sends a message to Jadon Sancho as well, because you've got to think of it like this. As soon as Martial was injured, it would have been very easy for Erik ten Hag to go, right, Martial, you're up front because I still need pace. That's what I wanted for today, movement and mobility. Jadon Sancho, you're lucky, son. You were playing shit. I wasn't even going to really play you today, but injuries must, and now you're in on the left-hand side. So he's shown a message to two players there. One, to Ronaldo to say, no, I'm going to go with you. I believe in you. You can score. You can win this. You can win us the game, which he did. And two, another one to keep Jadon Sancho on his feet, because I tell you what, Marcus Rashford didn't do anything to get dropped there. Anthony certainly didn't do anything to get dropped there. He scored. So now it's Jadon Sancho looking at it saying, I'll tell you what, I need to raise it. I need to raise it. I was one of the first names on the team sheet ever since since Erik ten Hag got here. And now I'm not. You know, when everyone starts getting fit again, we were saying that it's a toss-up, and it should be probably Sancho to start on the left-hand side instead of Rashford. And now we're seeing Rashford's being direct. He's getting back to the old Marcus Rashford. He's found his form again. He's having an input on the games, and he's still not even perfect. We're not even leaving the games with Marcus Rashford saying, wow, Rashford was like a 9 out of 10 today, unplayable. Not even quite at that level yet, but he's having a consistent say over these games, a consistent impact over these games as well. And it sends a message throughout the squad. Like I said, Ten Hag doesn't care what you've done in your career before. He doesn't care what reputation you have, how many titles you won. Casemiro, same thing. You need to go there. You need to earn your spot. And if you play well, I will keep playing you. And if you don't play well, you will be bombed out. So there you go. Casemiro, I wouldn't have given man of the match, not because of the agenda, just because I think Luke Shaw was more steady than him. But I'm glad that he did, because it's going to give him confidence. It's going to make him a better player for Man United. And yeah, so I don't really care about that. That's good that he got man of the match. It's good that he had good positive moments as well. But my man of the match was Luke Shaw. But long may it continue, Casemiro in there. This is what we've needed. And then we go again against Ammonia. And then again, I think it's Newcastle next week as well. So big games coming up, thick and fast. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.